Thanks, James. Thanks everyone for coming on. It's great to see such a huge crowd out. After last year it was extraordinary yet again, so congratulations to Gary on keeping this such a pivotal event in the industry. I'd like to introduce the panelists. We've got Nicole Bremner from East Aid, Barry Jessup from First Base, and Lucian from PropTech. I'm going to ask them just in the sort of first answer to the question to give a little bit of background about what they do and why they're up here and why they're part of the panel. I'm an architect with the practice called Bagot. We're very focused on how we use technology in our own work, in our own practice, and finding how that actually changes the design process, which is actually something in the panel that James and I were on recently. We discussed as being almost feeling like it's a separate part of PropTech, but certainly could be starting to be drawn into it. We've got sorts of exciting things like BIM happening that touch on those topics that I think we'll get into today. Obviously the housing market is all over the news almost constantly these days, and hopefully everyone's painfully aware of the housing crisis that keeps getting flagged up in the papers and the shortage of homes being built. And so I think turning to housing developers and asking them how can technology actually help them to solve that situation is really timely. There's lots of different looking at business sectors and business models on how that can be changed. So the build to rent market, as mentioned in the white paper that James referred to, is sort of seeing something that can definitely drive some of that change. There's a panel about that this afternoon, so we'll try not to double up on that too much in this panel. I think we're going to start with the sort of really obvious question, and possibly the one that will have the shortest answer unless everyone elaborates a little bit. But is it time for the housing market to innovate and modernise and bring itself forward? It's obviously a key part of the environment we live in. So I'm going to hand over first of all to Nicole and ask some bit of background about these and if you give us time for the market to help them embrace technology and get moving.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm founder of East Aid, which is a fund manager for the property industry, and I'm also the co-founder of London Central Developments, which is a property developer focused mainly in London and the South East. We are currently building out over 300 separate units across London. Value of those is roughly 350 million in GDV. My co-founder, Avi, has been in business now for over 30 years, and so he's very experienced. He has got very good systems in place, very old school systems, but very good systems in place and some great efficiencies. So I'm coming up here to hold my hand up and say I'm not a tech expert at all, but what I'm very keen in doing is being an early adopter of the new technology, and I've got some hopes and aspirations of where I hope the PropTech sector will lead us as far as efficiencies within our industry, so that we can focus on what we want to do, really, which is create beautiful homes for people and solve the housing crisis. So to answer your question, yes, it's absolutely time. And the previous speaker from UTS spoke about the lack of focus of the PropTech industry on solving some of our key issues. And for me, those key issues are around planning. And he mentioned that it takes 3 years to get a building out of the ground. That's just crazy. You're facing a whole new economic cycle in 3 years and a whole new ecosystem of demand. So we need to speed up the planning process so that it's quicker and more efficient. It's around finance. There are some fintech companies out there who are coming some way towards meeting that, but we're not there. I met with someone yesterday who said it's going to take a week to fill in an application form to get my debt raised. It's crazy. So it's around those sorts of areas, and then finally around the conveyancing and using blockchain technology to have conveyancing. I won't touch on the construction process because that's out of my area of expertise, but again, I do hope that there are some areas that PropTech can create some synergies that are quick to adopt for developers. And I think that's the key point that I like to make as far as the construction side.
And so I think there are really other points in there around that sort of combination of fintech and PropTech, which was discussed a little bit earlier on today, because that is one of the terms that I hear regularly alongside with the planning issue. So I'll pass the same question on to Barry. Background on the first class as well.
Thank you. So yes, my name is Barry Jessup. I'm a director and partner in a company called First Base. We are major London and South East mixed-use developers, so we believe in combining commercial and residential into new places that hopefully are attractive to people. So the short answer to the question is absolutely. The whole of the real estate industry is archaic in its approach. And I think from A to Z, it is ripe for tech intervention. I think when we then focus on the housing industry, I think it's probably at the worst end of the real estate industry. And that goes all the way, as Nicole said, from space planning, the actual planning process itself, the construction methodologies and delivery, the end product, which is often, I think, substandard. And so I think about the customer experience as well. So absolutely right for intervention. And I'm a great believer in necessity, really pushing for innovation. And I think the reality is both in terms of the housing crisis, but also in terms of, I think, the threat that now the housing and the property industry sees, based on the impact on other large old-scale industries from the tech sector, a need to innovate. And I think the timing therefore is absolutely right.
I'll pass some questions to Lucian to wrap up.
Yeah.
The answer to this question.
Pocket's slightly different. Pocket Homes, we're a private company, but we build 100% affordable housing. We deliver a one-bedroom, one-person flat, so 38 square metre, one-bedroom, one-person flat. It's prioritised for local people on moderate incomes, for first-time buyers. There are rules around subletting because they're for homes, and they're sold at a discount to the market of at least 20%. So it's a very specific niche in the market, and I think we probably had to bend, if not break, nearly every rule along the way. And we've had various different successes. Some of those have been assisted by technology, but some of them are boringly analog in terms of the process of space standards and planning and evaluating the design quality of a new product that's coming to market. And that's taken a long time. I mean, really, we've built about 250 homes in the first 12 years of our existence, and we're now building out 200 homes a year. Because it's taken that long to prove the concept and gain that level of trust within a sector that, as Barry says, is archaic and moves very, very slowly, because the consequences of getting it wrong in housing is very, very high. But that's no excuse to continue to get it wrong year after year after decade.
I think the point that Barry gave us, I imagine some of the tech sector is probably sort of quite shocked at how slow both properties in general, but in particular housing, when we start talking about 200 homes a year, that seems almost painfully slow when you're used to being in scale. When you start talking about 1,000 unit scheme is a gigantic scheme in London. And so when you're talking about having to target 50,000 homes a year of construction, that's not just that's not a lot, that's sort of gigantic compared to what actually gets built in the market. So I think the slowness of the product is something that will be very interesting to see how tech can support. I think everyone's sort of touched on this to a certain point already, but what are the things that are holding up that idea of that modernising? What is it that keeps the housing industry perhaps slower than other parts of the market? Barry's got some views on that, so
if you look at component parts, it's not a promising start, but I think that gives everybody a great opportunity. You're dealing with governmental policy, you're dealing with local public sector authorities, you're dealing with contractors that haven't really changed their techniques in probably 50 or 60 years, you're dealing with banks that look at everything through a very sort of form-based approach. And you see really starting from a pretty difficult start. But the hope for me is there are elements of that I think tech can really improve. It's interesting when you look at the real estate industry, we tend to have this race to the top. So whether it's commercial or it's residential, if you look at the way the developers try to compete with each other, they try to layer on other services, higher products, higher specification compared to the next guy. And of course what that ends up doing is the race to the top actually is the top of the cliff. And this is a very standard cross-industry sort of way of analysing industries that are ripe for disruption, and the housing industry is definitely in that crisis at the moment. And if you look at the way the pricing has evolved over the last 2 or 3 years, where probably less than 10% of the population in London can actually afford to buy a home, a new home these days, then you can see that there's an opportunity for intervention as a possibility. Coming back to your specific points in terms of how we achieve that, well, I think there are opportunities to make the planning process much easier. Space planning, I've seen quite a lot of technology out there now for starting to space plan work out where we can with housing. actually put new housing where the infrastructure already allows, rather than locations where it doesn't allow. And that can also then obviously inform governmental policy, so that's a good start. The planning process itself is massively painful, but I'm not here to complain about that. Hopefully we're here to try to introduce some ways of actually making that better. So consultation is something that you have to do as part of the process, but it's done in a massively inefficient way. We still stick up printed out pieces of A4 on the lamppost to tell people that a planning application is in the process. That is all absolutely right for change. One of the things we're doing at Silvertown, when we then move on to the actual design and delivery, is we are introducing a on-site assembly plant factory for modularised housing. Now, there is nothing rocket science about that. There isn't a single component, probably on some of the clothing that we're wearing today, that isn't modularised in some form. But there's a massive perception issue around modularised housing. So we're not doing anything which is particularly high-tech there, working in residential Bagot, but nevertheless, the industry, the property industry, is absolutely cutting edge. So I think there's an opportunity to focus on that. And then finally, around the customer experience, absolutely appalling for most people buying or letting a home. I think the advent of the build-to-rent sector, I think will place more focus on the customer experience. And I think that will hopefully then flow through to the rest of the industry. But that's another massive area that I think tech can really push us on to the next level.
It was interesting conversations you touching on how modular the planning process isn't necessarily rocket science. It's just modular sort of got a bad name through different furniture. It's prefab, and sort of has their own connotations around prefab. But around the sort of planning and the negotiation sides of things, Nicole's been looking at how can technology start to change that and some ideas about how it might impact them. But I think understanding the process and in some more detail about what the steps are would be really useful. So sort of covering some of the things you've been wrong in your work recently around approaching the planning system and how technology can help would be valuable, I think.
So over the last 3 days, in the lead up to the future PropTech conference, I wrote a series of kind of pie-in-the-sky type musings about how I wish blockchain would change the challenges, the top 3 challenges I mentioned earlier in my property journey. And one of those, the first one was on planning, and how there are so many checkbox systems within the planning. Every architect, every developer submits a different set of, a different application. And you fill out this form, and it takes a couple of weeks for the local authority to validate that. These are things that can be done using blockchain technology, surely. And just all these systemizing, these marrying up these if-then type statements that can be used right through to different local authorities will have different standards and size spaces, as Lucian has mentioned. And so all of these things can very easily be married up within a document that's pre-filled out with automated information flow, so that it just streamlines this whole planning process. It should not take 8 weeks to get a planning response, and often if you miss that 8-week deadline, we've been going on for 12 months waiting on applications just because the local authority has missed that. So have a look on my LinkedIn, and you can see that article that I've written, and also one on financing as well. But to answer one of the questions that's come up from Catherine, I really think it's the blockchain, and it's this access to big data and these databases which can really help streamline that whole planning process. And anything that requires checkboxes, we can remove all of that and allow the more creative, subjective side to be done by a human being while everything else is streamlined.
Yeah, I think what's really important to remember about the planning process as is, the way that it currently works in consultation, actually works in favour of those people who are already in stable housing. They know they're going to be in that street, they're probably a homeowner already, they probably already vote, they know their local councillor, everything is stacked in their favour to stop development. Those who are in unstable PRS in that local area, they may not be in that street, they may not be in that ward, they may not be in that borough, but they are the ones who need new housing, and they're the ones who need to gain. And their voice is silent. It's not heard at all. Now that favours the political debate, because you've got voters speaking to local councillors that they've elected, getting the decisions they want. What we're not doing, and technology has to be able to answer this, is as the most socially connected we've ever been as a race. We have to be able to harness that, those that are disenfranchised, to say, we need this type of housing on this site. It's a derelict piece of tarmac. We need starter home housing, we need family housing, we need housing for those people who are currently in the borough and contributing to the economy of that borough, but are cut out from the debate. And that's when we go into the planning committee with a really strong and powerful voice. So we recently went to Haringey and had a really strong recommendation from planning, from the planners. The local homeowners opposed the scheme. The scheme was 87% affordable housing with a new community centre. For local people, 20% discount to market and a new terrace housing, which is kind of what they wanted, something that looked like what they've already got. And they turned out with 6 ward councillors, they had placards, they had Facebook groups, they got themselves organised because they all live in the same street. We took one city maker, we call it, somebody who's 32 years old, average earning, in the rental sector, brought up in Haringey, and she came to sit at the table with us and told her story, and that changed the debate. The politicians sitting around that table never hear that, because they're always speaking to the best interest. So, I think that we can use technology and use social media to fundamentally change that debate and weight it in the favour of those people who need housing, not those who already have it.
And to bring that, not only bringing that voice to bear in those conversations, but also I guess there must be opportunities for larger analysis to support some of those things, which I personally, we're looking at doing, but we see very little of actually coming as it's not enough analysis of this borough needs X, Y, and Z, and we're proposing to put it in this place because it makes sense.
Yeah, so I've just come to a round table with the great people of the property industry, and they're all bemoaning the fact that we're trying to solve London's problems, that they all have to solve the whole of London's problems within the red line of individual plots. That quantity of affordable or social housing, that money, there are a lot of 3-bed open market apartments that are supposed to be for families that families don't want, just because of a code that has been written, rather than using pure data and pure demand to quickly ascertain what are the requirements within that red line, what do people need.
Totally agree with this. I think it's actually a crucial element. It's something we can change very, very quickly. So what we tend to find is that either from a democratic perspective or from a statistical perspective, having a biased sample size of people that actually turn up to planning meetings and consultations is not a way to assess public opinion on a decision. Politicians are, by their nature, going to want to make popular decisions. So it's a really straightforward, it should be a straightforward process to actually gauge the opinions of a much broader cross-section of society. But that key element in doing that is actually to be able to demonstrate in a transparent way what the benefits are to the wider population of the development that's being put forward. Whether that's additional council taxes going into the local economy, whether it's additional spend in local shops, whether it is a provision of more affordable housing. At the moment, a lot of that information is almost kept secret by even the planning authorities or the developers, and the wider population doesn't understand that. There's such a simple technical solution to allow politicians to be empowered to make popular decisions.
It echoes to me the stories I'm hearing about San Francisco housing in the place where there are empty lots sitting in San Francisco that can't get planning to do anything on them because everyone's just decided they don't want a construction site in their area. We've got a question that's come through that's been highlighted, which is just disappeared, about how it was house technology cannot act technology, so not customer care, which I think is very important at very first handover point in the sale market, and then becomes even more important long term for how you keep on top of your customers, how you understand their needs. So, Lucian, I know you're looking at this at the moment.
Yeah, we had to build our own CRM system that actually coached first-time buyers through the purchase process and engaged with us entirely online. If we're running an affordable business, there are 35,000 people registered for a pocket home, and we're cranking out a couple of hundred a year. So I can't employ enough people to fill this room to man the phones. So we have to teach people how to communicate this, but also you can use those interfaces to empower them in the purchase process and educate them about buying home, because first-time buyers, they've never done this before. That then transpires into they are used to interacting with our CRM system on through the purchase process, and then they can log all of their all of any snags, any complaints, that can all come through to us, and they can all be logged. We know the performance of different contractors, so modular snagging is about 60% lower than conventional, and we're able to see trades between contractors. That's really useful. We have to check every year that our owners aren't abusing their lease, so they're not subletting, they're not profiting out of affordable housing, so they have to check in every year and say that they're still living there. And if they want to process a resale, that has to be more codified than a normal sale. But all of that is dealt with through, it's not, I wouldn't even call it tech, I mean, it's just normal business behaviour, that's just our place.
Yeah. And that seems to be something that I don't see very often happening with local market developers. So I don't know, Nicole, you did that before, true, because you have a mix of the same age, the same premium products, so how's that working out with actual customers? Make sure you're giving them everything they need.
Yeah, it's difficult because our business has been in place for 30 years. It's very hard to be like Pocket, who are a young, innovative company. I think, what, 5 years now, or is it a bit longer?
Well, we're actually 13 years old, but really,
the focus.
Yeah, since 2013 was also picking up.
Yeah, so it's very easy when you're starting afresh to implement new technologies, and honestly, we've not done that to the extent that we should have. That's why there's a question that's coming here, housing developers slow in adopting technology to solve the housing crisis and some of the customer service issues. And yes, we're very slow. And that's because over 30 years we've built up these efficiencies in dealing with the build process and with our customer service and our relationship building with our tenants and our purchasers. And it's very hard now for us to backtrack and take a few steps back in order to make these steps forward. So what we need from the tech sector in order to enable us to move forward is a solution that is very easy to onboard with the current systems that we work in that will speak with those and streamline those things. And also with the actual modular construction. We have looked at it, we are looking at it. The concern that we have is right now we're very cheap. Our construction costs are very cheap. And that's because we have set systems in place that systemize everything from the procurement right through to even just the valuations, right through to the end, handing over the keys to our either tenant or purchaser. If we were to then adopt a modular type system, rather than us getting started on the demolition and groundworks from day one as soon as we're discharged planning conditions, we'd actually have to spend about, I think, 6 to 9 months in pre-planning before we even get on site, and that's a long time. So while people do say that yes, we can cut build time down from 3 years to 9 months, actually, I've not seen that yet because of the time required to plan out those projects. We've actually break ground, and so that is an issue that we need to address before we do that.
And is that an issue of scale as well? Is that an issue of the fact that you're doing more small developments? Having your system in place, which is key in that system, you've got all the efficient as you can through it, is key where some bigger players might need to just take that hit and start because they'll see bigger efficiencies over a long period of time. Just understanding what those efficiencies will be once you sort of take that payment and change your systems to speed them up. Is that it's not really clear at the moment? There's lots of, like you say, 6 months off to build time, but I don't think anyone's, I think people get fixed on that, but they may be not 100% convinced that that's the case. Does that really affect the efficiencies?
Well, the issue is we've got shareholders and we've got investors. So I need to convince 2 or 3 lots of shareholders and investors that they need to take a hit on, say, 2-3 projects in order for us to experiment with a new construction methodology. And so it's about finding those investors who are going to be on board with that and say, yeah, sure, we'll take a hit in order for you to smooth out your methodology and be more streamlined going forward. It's very difficult to ask them to do that.
just had a question come through that's why is modular housing getting more traction for affordable housing and not as much for mainstream private? I mean, between Lucian and Barry, I'm sure that the two of you will have plenty to comment on that and get an answer.
It's fairly straightforward. Most affordable housing, these guys are an exception, most affordable housing is delivered by housing associations that have a profit requirement, a very low cost of capital, and have very long-term investment plans. So you're typically looking at 25-year business plans. Most private development is over a much shorter period of time, and therefore there's much less incentive to innovate and to invest in some of that technology. You really need large schemes like the one we have in Silvertown with over 3,000 homes to justify making that investment. It's worth remembering that the housing industry is massively segmented, and I think the point was made earlier is often a single developer is asked on a single project to make a London or a South East or UK changing housing decision, whereas in reality that only represents a minute fraction of the whole industry, and there is no real industry standard for pushing this forward. So it's a combination of that, but that's why a lot of this innovation is actually seen in the affordable housing sector. Unfortunately, it then starts to attract a certain perception, and that doesn't always then land well with the private customers who might misunderstand what's actually being proposed to them.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are a number of things. So, we didn't know that we were doing something revolutionary when we got into modular. It seemed really quite sensible and logical. We built the same flat as often as possible, so it's repeatable, so it should fit that technology. And then it has become this sort of the buzzword. It's not cheaper. It's not cheaper as a manufacturing methodology, and it does hit its deadlines. And you make all your decisions up front, and then that's what's baked into the scheme. If the market changes, if the economics of that scheme changes, you're out of control. It is going to get built, and it's going to all come on stream at the same time. Now, for an affordable housing, it's repeatable floor plates, delivered all at the same time, because the demand is always going to be there for affordable housing, because housing prices. And it works a lot better. And what we've kind of worked out is actually the build cost is a little bit more, but actually the savings in interest and time and snagging, and actually the concentration of management time at the front of the process. And then they can all just sort of ease off because it just gets built. It makes a massive difference. So it has become a real buzzword, but I think the large-scale developers like to control a very efficient supply chain that they are in control of. I think just on the quality point, I think there is a big difference between the different age groups. The people we sell to, they're on average age of 32. So they see a factory-built home as brilliant, absolutely, because they go in, all the plug sockets line up, the acoustic protection is amazing, and they don't see a problem. It's the way it's written about is if I read another modular headline that starts with the prefab or mentions Churchill one more time, they scream because they're just not related to each other.
So I think we're starting to get to the end. So I think what I'll do is wrap up with a. See your question that was out of you there?
Yeah, the crowdfunding.
One topic we haven't mentioned is crowdfunding, which is a really interesting side of things that is absolutely outside of my wheelhouse, but both Lucian and Nicole have experience with crowdfunding. So maybe if we have a really quick word around why crowdfunding is relevant to both the residence settings and the property, and then we'll start to run after the end. So, Nicole.
Yeah, the question is around raising funds from local residents as a way of engaging with the community, and absolutely that's something that we did on a project in Hackney, where we did market our investing project to locals, and a lot of locals jumped in, and we raised 1.4 million in 9 days. So, and a lot of that was from locals, or people who had an affinity with a particular site, as it had been a youth club. I'm happy to talk to you afterwards about this because it's something that I'm very passionate about, especially getting people who are first-time buyers into areas like Hackney, which have grown just in such a huge way over the last year, which has priced out many people who have social ties with the area. So it's something that we're working on going forward. But crowdfunding is fascinating as well from a perspective that we're able to use an FCA-regulated platform in able to pull together funds from people we would not otherwise be able to, and we've used it quite a lot. We've raised over 4 million over the last few months from our crowdfunding, and it's something that we're going to ramp up over the next foreseeable future.
Actually, either one, James, and so I will draw us to a close, but thank Lucian, Barry, and Nicole for joining us on stage. Well, hopefully it was helpful insight into where technology can make a big impact on the housing market, which is a really key focus for most of the property industry at the moment, so it's a good one to focus on. Thank you very much.